Hey everyone, before we begin, just kind of wanted to highlight here. So this was 3 weeks ago, July 27th, so almost a month ago, but literally 3 weeks ago. I mentioned Kid and Killer as a pickup recommendation if you're looking to play Rayleigh, and it is now about $15. We'll talk about that at some point in this video. But if you're looking for a reason, to subscribe, you can hit that subscribe button right here. It helps me for free. You can also hit this join, and then it lets you join this. I don't even know what this really, I'm trying to add some things. I don't even know how to actually make this work, but hoping to add that in. But if you join this, you'll get these really cool ace emotes. And for every person that joins YouTube, I think it's going to pay me like $4 on top. So if you want to, great. If not, absolutely no means. But if you're going to do anything, click this link right here. Takes it to TCGPlayer. You can find it also probably right here-ish. But yeah, right here in the YouTube video description. I'll also put it in here. And let's jump into the video. What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, and let's go ahead and just kind of dive in to, we'll briefly talk about OP12, but pre-sales, as always, never pay pre-sale price for anything. A lot of these prices, what's going to happen tomorrow is the moment pre-sales open up, at some point there's going to be a bottom, then everything's going to kind of get swooped back up, but I'm not an OP12 guy, right? Again, this is just another set. It's adding some Demon Aura 9 Sword style Ashura Blades Drawn Dead Man game is a staple in green, unquestionable. But a lot of these cards are very tailored to specific decks. They're not evergreen. They're not generic good cards. They're incredibly locked to certain decks and certain archetypes. And so I'm not a huge fan. I'm not confident in the overall price of the set. I will also never advocate to buy alternate art leaders. This leader, I want to say, is like $60 in Europe right now. So anything over 60, I think, is crazy. In my opinion, we got Silver's Rayleigh. I think anything, like 40. Anything over 40 on this is just crazy. This is also incredibly. The SPs most often dip the most. And there'll be one big winner there. And then this should be $1 million. This should be $1 million. Everything else, this should be $1 million. But everything else, these, we should see, I think, I think we should see big drops. I don't think, especially because I don't think Yasop's incredibly viable in the new environment. Sanji's probably going to be a $20 leader. Biggest value just being Sanji. But then, always go SR. I always go SRs over alts. That's just a me personal thing. Yeah, it's probably be $10. Sorry, Law. This should be $1 million. We got our Treasure Rare. Treasure Rare already starting off pretty weak, too, which is unfortunate. These were in stock on, eBay for a while, or Walmart for a while. This Luffy, there's a lot of talk if this is bait or not. I like these at 3s. This is a really good engine overall. It's kind of like another take on the Animal engine, if you would. So, I'm kind of a fan. But yeah, just buy these really cheap. At one point, they're going to be cheap. Then they're going to spike up incredibly high. And then Wave 2 is going to hit, and they're going to drop again. So, just as always, be careful. But let's talk about what we're really here for. But before we do that, if you can do me a favor, we're on the road to 10,000, which I still cannot believe. It's been an incredible journey. Shout out everybody who's been here since 2.5 years ago when I first started uploading here. I appreciate you all. Couldn't be here without all of you. And it's just crazy to me sometimes, when I just think about where we are. So if you could just do me a favor, see if you're subscribed. If not, hit that subscribe button. And let's beat Minhudi to 10,000. So I don't have to give him the Zoro thing. But outside of that, click that link in the YouTube video description. and help me get some money if you decide to purchase any singles. But let's go ahead and jump in. Of course, the star of the show, Sakazuki, the true villain of One Piece. Those unfamiliar, I'm working on a video to talk about Sakazuki because I know it's a big talking point. I just haven't had a lot of time, a lot of different things going on outside of my YouTube time. I will put it like that. But a lot of different things I've had to take care of. So, but trying to find somebody kind of jump in here to talk Sakazuki with me. I'm trying to iron all of that out. Because a lot of people, if you're new here, don't know what this leader did. And I don't mean by the effect. But this leader was the first leader with 2 free effects. Once per turn, you can trash 1 card, draw 1 card. So you just get to cycle any card just for free. And then when attacking, you get the -1 of your opponent's character. So it's Lucci for free. And you get to cycle 1. So instead of milling 2, you can just pitch 1. This leader's insane. And he's black-blue. So he has an inherent minus, and he's black-blue, which was the grossest combination ever. Some of y'all never got hit with the Gecko Moria Houndblaze, a 10-drop, and it shows. This deck is disgusting. No matter how you cut it. I really can't believe he's back, truthfully. And I can OP 13, because Emu. Nothing should beat Emu. This guy's going to get steamrolled. Oh, you can't remove the body? Oh, you have 4 life? I have 7k rushers? You lose. You lose. Cool. Great. Fine. But I think in our environment, this could actually be a big shakeup here. It makes me incredibly bullish, though, on Shanks. But I digress. This leader has 2 free effects. He was, every ban list he gets hyped up, but this time it was actually genuine. People bought these as a Don set as a joke and can now retire their families. So shout out them. I bought one, probably like 20, 30. Because I was just like, I needed it for the collection. I was never going to pay. This card was... Like, this is how strong he was. He's been gone for over a year. All right, here was the initial ban list, hype, not unbanned. Boom, this time he actually got unbanned. People were paying $100 F in the chat for them, but he's at $60. He was one, I think peak, this leader was like $150. And I mean, he was literally like 70% of pie charts. Again, a video coming later to kind of talk about this. But I think that this is relatively depending. We have the first event he's legal is the Carta Magica Treasure Cup, in online, I believe. So we will see. But I imagine there's at least one. I can't see a world where there isn't. I mean, everybody who knew Sokka, like, they played Sokka. Sokka was a true skilled deck overall. Like, it rewarded good gameplay. Then, of course, Navy HQ, which is the Lucci stage is gone. I can't even think of what it's called, but I guess it's Impel Down, is it? It's not Impel Down. It was before that. But, whatever that one was. We got Navy HQ. You rest it, boom. And on play. So, on play, you get the -1, and then you can rest it. So, it's a 1 cost, -2, and then a -1 forever. So, this plus your leader is forever a -2. And then, Brook -3, and so on and so forth. Then we, of course, have Jack. Jack is a card that Sakazuki never really got to play with. But these have skyrocketed. It's only available in the structure deck. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong. But, you see this? I used to be able to go in and be like, boom, shop this deck. But now I can't. I don't know if that's just a me issue. But if somebody could get TCG to fix that, that'd be great. Then we look at Houndblaze. I do wish I had bought one because the card does look cool, high key, but I hate Sakazuki. So $70. This card is incredibly overpriced, but people still seem to think that it is worth roughly this. PRB, of course, being an incredibly high hype set. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative, the textured foils also have similar pull rates. Ton of buys here. I think at this point it's incredibly underrated for what you get. It's just a textured version of this, but they look very nice, and I am a personal fan. This was an incredibly powerful card, incredibly popular card. This plus, you just kind of look here, you already see, right? Like, everybody's searching. These are just all the trending searches. But the Amanomi, this card also, I actually should buy one, but this is probably going to be the Rayleigh answer, and there's builds that only played this, no Houndblaze, I believe. Again, working through the details. It's been a while since Sokka's been here, but video to come to that. Hit that subscribe button. Links for the affiliate link in the description. Something. But I'm on no Murakumo sword, featuring a familiar chicken leg you might recognize there. But this card bottom deck's a 2 cost and a 1 cost. You could play Gecko Moria and do like Gecko, Rebecca, Hina, Helmeppo, Ama, and like leader stage. And then so you could bottom deck like a 7 cost and like a 5 cost. Because you go -3, -1. So you go -4, then you go -4, -1. That's 5. So you bottom deck a 7, which is literally disgusting. Gecko's gone now, though, so thank goodness. But this is another card, the Ama. And there's this. Both have, like, these textured foils. I'm a fan. Then we have Rebecca. This one's actually a bad listing. There's a bunch here just climbing our way back up. I need to go through all of my bulk, see what I got going on for me now. It might be time to clear out some Rebecca's. Check the binder. Clear out some Rebecca's. Was $2. Now it's 6. Like, there's a lot of excitement behind Sakazuki. Then, of course, the Gold Dawn. I mean, there really isn't anything crazy happening here. Still not desired. Maybe something, you know. I'm not a fan. I don't like this one. Brook was $11. This card's getting reprinted. This card is in PRB 02. Let me say it again. This card is in PRB 02. I am considering selling my Brooks now because I just didn't expect to get $100 for my Brooks. And I just don't see a world where I'm playing Sakazuki. It calls to me like like the Green Goblin mask. It's like, you can't escape me type beat, you know? So we've got Brook at $24, over doubling overnight. Tons of sales, 20, 30, 20, 30. Starting to think it's a year, 20, 30, like so many. So highly considering, just me personally, getting rid of my playset and just waiting. If I was not playing Sakazuki or if I was not playing in Bandai Card Fest, I would 1 bazillion% sell this right now. No questions asked. Man Sherry is a card kind of tossed around. This card's been around the same price for a while. It is just at the start of Block 2. It's in the first anniversary set. I had a couple of these, and then I sold them. And I'm like, do I want another Man Sherry? Like, this card is really cool. I want to say it was Sao who did the art, So. I'm not really sure how you say it, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But incredibly beautiful art here. I know you can't see her face, but incredibly cute design, very thematic. $10, lots of time. This was a very popular card because you get your Rebecca back, and then your Rebecca goes great with, you know, it's like a beer. It pairs perfectly with your Rebecca goes so great with your Hound Blaze. Your Rebecca goes so great with your Ama no Mi sword. Murakumo. Anyways. We've got Sabo. Again, another black card just skyrocketing because now it's like, okay, well, you kind of need this in the mirror because, of course, the Lucia is still very real. Of course, again, you know, you just get hit with that Hound Blaze and it invalidates this, but it prevents, like, a, you know, potential double removal. But this also in PRB, like, yeah, I mean, I didn't think I would see the day that this card was going up in price once again. You can see here, very thin amount available, an incredible amount of sales, over 100. This card is going to be reprinted once again. Now, honestly, if it hit 8, I would sell every one that you have until the reprint. This card is also confirmed in PRB 02. Let's talk Roronoa Zoro. So Green Zoro's kind of speculated to be hyped. There's talks of Enel coming back because everybody's talking Sakazuki, and you really want this card for Enel because now they do not have Raigo. No Raigo, no problem. So this card is reprinted twice. It is in the Let's Play starter decks or the Learn to Play decks. The structure decks, this is a confirmed card in those, but it is also in PRB. Presuming same ratios, you get 2 secrets per box. This card should be like $2. If you have one of these, probably now's the time to get rid of it. If you need it for Bandai Card Fest, absolutely keep it. If not, absolutely get rid of it. Now let's talk Sanji. So if you followed my videos, you likely, I want to say probably about $6, picked up Sanji. You also probably picked up Kid Killer. So great reason to subscribe. And maybe I'll make this the intro. Is you see $14? I told people 3 weeks ago to buy these at $5. Like right here. Right here. I mean, heck, probably right here. So maybe it's been like a month. I don't know. Oh, well, these are like a range, you know. So it's like right here. But this is 15, and this one just went down. So cool. But it was just 11. Still like $10 with shipping. So, yeah, this is for Rayleigh. It's also, I think, going to be partially relevant in Shanks. I'm impartial. Depends on like Marshall D. Teach and a number of other factors, but it's a really nice card I like in Shanks as well. But yeah, if you haven't picked these up, pick them up. It's not reprinted in PRB. This card is not in PRB, so you have to wait till PRB 3 to potentially see a reprint of this in a meaningful manner. And we have Rayleigh. Rayleigh is very short-lived, though. He is not really proven in OP13, and there's a ton of 6K, 7K leaders, so I think he just kind of gets gate-kept. So I would only buy this if I'm playing it. If I'm playing Rayleigh, this will be like $3 afterwards. Now let's talk this Sanji. If you follow me on Twitter, I've told you all. Are you paying $5? Look at this. Look at this. 200 people paid $5. 100 people paid $5. But if you followed me, you paid less than half of this. You paid $1 something. You paid $1 something. Well, Vampyr, how do you pay $1? Well, you can't pay $1 anymore, but those who listened got them for $1. So, you know, it's not only beneficial to be here on YouTube, but there's, of course, these demos now. I know it used to say that these cards cannot be played. I'm pretty sure I got them to remove that because it used to say that. But these cards are playable. It is Demo Sanji. Add 1 card from your life to your hand. Give this character plus 2,000. Then give it up to 2 Rested Dawn. This is that Sanji for $250, 50% off. How often can you buy singles 50% off? Not very often. I have a ton of these, by the way. Just disclose, I have a ton of these because I had a ton of demo decks, and I've just cracked them all open. They have Namis in it, and they have this. This card is $250. There's still a decent amount. You can buy your playset, $250, $3. There's a ton until it gets to $5. At $5, I would never touch this with a 10-foot pole. But you can still literally get this same Sanji. This Sanji, sorry. Not that one. This one. This one. On sale here for half the price. Link down below. But yeah, this card is really good in Rayleigh. I actually like it as a 2 of from Gerard's list. He played 2, and he played 2 Brook, which I think is incredibly good because Brook helps you against the Zoro matchup, but this card is also really good for things like Teach or possibly a Nell that tries to tuck your life, starve you. You can use this, just bring your life down so you take away their removal. Not that it really matters because they're just probably everything's within range, but it prevents you from just getting Kuzan Tuck, Kuzan Tuck, 2 is Kuzan Tuck. And it's a pretty good pickup. And now let's talk Katakuri. So, of course, this card has gone down incredibly. Now, of course, this card could be a PRB 03 contender. But with blue-purple out of the image, this card is down quite a bit. I still think this is an incredibly good purple card. I think this is a very strong purple card. And with that in mind, I don't think it's a bad pickup at $250. If I'm buying this from my locals and I get a playset for $8, I really like that. I really like a playset of this at $8. Yeah, it looks like probably, I mean, gosh, not even that thin, right? Like, it just goes right back up to $4, but it's pretty cheap right now. I really like this. Now, this Luffy was kind of hyped back here and has made all his way down to $2. These structure decks haven't been printed in quite some time. This card specifically was reprinted in a event pack, so it has potential to be block 2. Block 1 is rotating away. So if this card makes it, you know, it gives it till 2027. If it gets into like block 2, I think it was around the time of the first anniversary. It's been quite some time since the reprint, but again, we don't have clarity around the list for rotation, but we know that there will be a rotation list with cards included that have updated block numbers. I'm operating under the assumption that they will. This will be like block 2, and I don't think that this is a bad card. That's just a me thing overall, but I mean, $2 is incredibly cheap for a single. I like this card. You know, I like hitting them unblockable. It's a Luffy card. It's a red card. It's a 5-drop. It fits all the bills for everything. I like this card. Now, of course, this as well, the leader really found his way down, of course, being the tier 0 leader that he was way up here, and then we kind of all just like, this guy's gotta get banned, right? Went all the way down to about 25 buckaroos, and now we're right back up to 35 US dollars, American money. And yeah, I just thought it was something, you know, like, I think this leader is still quite powerful. He literally out benefits every single deck in the late game still. You just have to adjust how you play. You have to be a lot more either aggressive or concerned. You have to go like a Whitebeard route. Then every single turn afterwards, you know, in the late game, you get extra cards for free, and you draw 2 to their 1. And so that was the big thing. Like, you can starve your opponent because then you just continually outvalue them, and the more turns you go, you gain more value. I think we have to take a different approach, but we've seen plenty of aggressive 3-life 6K leaders do well. Just any 6K leader inherently is aggressive. So I don't think that this leader's gone by any means. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw us go back up. Even with the gross A, the elders, the 5 unkies, I think this leader might still be pretty good, even with the forbidden pair. And then finally, wrapping things off, I should have put this in the middle because, you know, I love to give you guys like a little treat, but this is fascinating to me, and maybe just to put this on your guys' radar. This card in foil is quite expensive now, and it's funny because I graded all mine and sold them, and now I'm like, maybe that was a bad move when it felt like the greatest move. But this you got at Gen Con for the demos, and then at all the conventions. And I want to say, I can't remember if they had this at Bandai Card Fest, but what I do remember is that they had them at Gen Con, they had them at a number of conventions, and they gave this out, and I think it was a ticket prize, like the scavenger hunt one. Maybe it was the other Luffy, but this card near mint is $22. Not crazy sales, you know, but, you know, maybe try to sell yours. Like you see here, foil for 60. You see here, 8. Don't buy a Japanese one. These are worthless. The Japanese one's like $1, but this card is actually trying to be something, which I find very interesting because it is, of course, Oda art, and personally one of my favorites. I almost kept a graded one, but then I just got rid of it. So I think at one point I'll have to pick up another one. I do have one of the Gen Con sheets still, so I still technically own one. But yeah, this card is really interesting. I don't know, like if I had one, I would just keep it. I don't know that I'm buying this, but I think it's the most interesting card in the market right now, just like in the direction that's taken, just knowing how many of these that they give out. Because they give out a lot. Especially the Gen Con ones, because every single attendee at Bandai Card Fest that like finished the thing got one from there. So interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think. As always, if you found this content of value, again, just do me that favor. Hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a lot. And I'll see you all in the next one.